I was gonna say I'm pretty impressed that of all I would never guess that 2.5 Men would make its way into this podcast, but hey,
or this will be the intro of the exact episode.
This should be
clip it.
Just
Clip
like,
it.
did you just say the Charlie Sheen show?
Are we recording?
We are recording. Welcome to the 611 Films podcast. My name is David Groves, and with me as always,
Neil McKay, what is up? Happy October.
Happy October. Special guest, as per usual, with Halloween, with horror films, Johnny Valode.
I'm ready to fuck some shit up. Let's do this.
Yeah.
He's ready. He's got his shirt on.
It's our annual, okay. I can't, I won't sleep because the clowns will eat me. What does it say?
Read it
Can't sleep, clowns will eat me.
Yeah.
I was going to guess it, but that
is?
can't be that. It's not Killer Clowns.
It's not Killer
Outer
Clowns.
Space.
Nope.
Is it like, it's a horror movie, right?
It's not a horror movie. It's a horror episode of probably the longest running cartoon of all times.
Yep.
Is it Simpsons?
Well, It is. It is Simpsons.
Oh, is it the Treehouse? It's one of those Treehouse of Horror?
Yep.
Can't sleep, clown will eat me. Can't sleep, clown will eat me.
Anyway,
all right. So what are we gathered here to do today? What is this
church? We're gathered here today to talk about. We're actually going to talk about. So last year we did the stuff that truly scares us, movies that really kind of got under our skin, things of that nature. And this year, I thought it would be fun. What do we not like about horror films?
Sure.
What are horror films doing wrong? What is the stuff that irks us about a horror film? But what we're going to do is kind of talk about it, each of us. And then the other two are going to try to guess what it is that irks you or what you don't like about horror films. Even though I think all three of us are big fans of the genre, but these are things that I think like it's if they were done a little bit better.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so Johnny's the guest. He'll kick us off.
Sure.
And he'll say 3 to 5 movies, something like that, and then Dave and me will try to guess what irks him about these movies.
Intro the idea, or if you want to intro sort of have something to say before saying here's the movies, then by all means.
I think this is just it's something that when executed correctly is brilliant but rare. More often than not is not executed properly, I guess I could say. I think there's a length that goes on. It's hard to say without saying too much.
Okay.
Just say the movies then.
Yeah, like one of my favorite movies to shit on, Hereditary.
I should have known.
Then we have The Witch. All right, so we'll start with those two.
I think I know what this is.
We're gonna start with elevated horror, whichever. By the way, elevated horror. Yeah, I don't. That term.
Okay, I got it.
Is that okay?
Wait, just wait.
All
then we're gonna go to Scream 3. I threw a little loop for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? And then this should give it away. Any Saw film that is not the original.
Any Saw film that is not the original.
Go.
Hereditary, The Witch.
Scream 3.
Scream 3.
Any Saw film that's not the original. 6,
well, it can't
7.
be the idea of a first kill, because, I mean, Hereditary doesn't really start with that, or The Witch doesn't really start with, like, a kill.
Does anything
But
happen
Scream
in The
3
Witch?
does.
Because I don't remember anything happening in The Witch. Were there kills in The Witch?
Well, it makes me see. It does sound like a wildly long start to the actual. I wouldn't say just kills. The actual start to the story of the movie.
You think
like
that's your guess?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of I don't know.
I can say no to that right away because of Scream 3.
Okay, got
Right.
it.
The Saw
Any
thing is
Scream movies.
throwing me off because I'm like, what happens in all the sequels that doesn't happen in the original? I guess it's
Exactly,
not.
Neil. What happens in all the sequels that doesn't happen in the original? That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. What happens in that one that doesn't happen?
And what happens in
That's
Scream
cool.
3?
And what happens in Scream 3? Which
Scream 3 remembers they're in Hollywood.
You probably haven't seen it in a while.
Movie set. Patrick Dempsey is a part of it. The killer is the director, I think. Right? Yep.
Okay, keep that in mind. And now, let me
this is
give
what I
you-
hate about Hereditary and The Witch.
Here, hold on.
Okay,
Let me
go for it.
because
They're teaching somebody. They're like taking someone under their wing.
And here are 4 movies that do it wonderfully.
Okay.
Cloverfield. It follows Final Destination. That'll throw you for a bit. Halloween. Bam! This is a fun game.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. It follows Halloween, Cloverfield, and what was the other one? Final Destination.
Final Destination is
Final
Destination is one of the best examples.
A lot of these start the action really quick. This is something Neil and I've actually talked about too, which is a thing with horror films where it's like, oh my God, we're 30, 40 minutes in and nothing really has actually happened. Hereditary might be that idea, which is kind of like that idea to you too. But then again, the Saws all did it pretty quickly, I thought, I guess.
Yeah, Saws do it fast, and for sure Scream does it. It's their thing. So it's not that.
But it's not also like this longer idea of just the story getting started really quickly. That's not it either? Okay.
Did a silent, like a villain that doesn't talk? No, that can't be it.
No.
Is it some with the game?
No.
No, because all Saw was all...
You mean the game like, do you want to play? I want to play a game. Like
no, because that's in the first one too. No,
that was actually pretty good, I think.
That was pretty good. I want to play a game.
Was it?
Wait a minute, is it something like the cat jumps out and 4 of them, but not the other, or something like that? Like something like...
What did he just say?
What? I don't know.
What
like a cat, like a cat jumps.
What?
I don't know.
Cat?
Yes, a cat,
So.
a feline.
I don't even know what you're even talking about. Now I'm more confused.
I mean, is it like a theme, or is it like something that it happens, and you might not remember it happening in all 4 of these movies?
It's literally the structure of all those movies and put one in column A and put the other ones in column B, you'd be like, oh, I see.
Good first kill.
You said that 9 times.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know. I didn't know if you meant like a good start of the actual story. The good start, a kill, just could be very simple.
The Saw sequels and Witches throwing me off. I'm like, what the hell? How do they have anything in common? Like
The Witch and Hereditary. He doesn't like those 2 movies, but at the same time, Saw 1 did it well.
Saw 1 did it well.
Scream 3 did it well.
Scream 3 did not do it well.
Oh, Scream 3 did not do it well. I thought you said
not do-
you
No,
started with
Hereditary,
Scream 3.
The Witch, Scream 3, and any Saw sequel. They do not do it well. Cloverfield, it follows. Here, let's examine those. Cloverfield.
mm-hmm.
What's so great about Cloverfield? What's so great about It Follows? What's so great about Final Destination? What do they all do so well? And Halloween is also brilliant.
Keeps the villain kind of subjective. You don't see it right away. Okay, never mind.
I'll have to give you like more of a hint. Think of it as something that can be applied to every movie. So it's not just horror.
Okay.
But it's the way that these horror movies have done it that makes it work very well for the genre.
Okay.
Sympathetic.
This is the same kind of shit I'm going to be saying on mine, just FYI.
So am I. So this is going to be like, we're going to be all over the place.
Might be a little all over the place.
Sympathetic protagonist, or I don't know, you're invested in the characters.
It's got to do more plot and flow and structure.
Motivation for the antagonist or the protagonist. Okay.
Nope.
I got it.
You got it?
A cat jumps out. No, I don't.
Fuck you and your cat.
Oh, okay. Well, let me say this. It is a definable antagonist, not some kind of weird. Like Hereditary was a awkward one. The Witch is awkward. This Cloverfield, it's definitely a monster. We don't know where.
Yeah, but if It Follows is not defined.
Okay.
See?
Damn it.
Well done, Neil.
Shit.
Well done to destroy his theory.
Yeah. Thank you. Good job.
All right, we're gonna need another. Otherwise, this episode's gonna go 55 minutes. Or something.
5 hours later.
These movies work so well because they deliver the blank without the audience having to ask too many questions or get bogged down by blah.
All right, what's the first letter?
E.
Delivers
the
exposition.
Exposition. They deliver the exposition. It's think about it. It Follows is just like, okay, cool. I'm with you. I am on this ride, right? You don't have to think too much about it. Think about Cloverfield, right?
Yeah,
Cloverfield
that's right. Okay.
Is one of those like, this is cool. You're not burying me with all this bullshit, right? Final Destination. It's simple. You don't have, there's not too much about it. They're just like, guess what? This is how everyone dies. They're going to die in order. And that's the whole fucking movie, right? Okay. It's very, very smart. But Halloween is on a level of brilliance when it comes to this. Because you're like, why the fuck is he doing this? You don't really care. He did it as a kid. He did it as an adult. And you just take it for what it is.
Okay.
Right? So they deliver the exposition.
Let's go back to Scream 3.
Scream 3 is the end of the fucking movie. He sits there in the lobby or the parlor, and he's just like, here's what happened, and here's what's going on, and here's why I'm related to you, and here's this, and you're just like, oh, God.
Yeah, it's a lot of having to
right.
Yeah, explain
it's
right.
The monologuing. Exactly. It's like...
it's just way too much. And in this first Saw, you're just like, that is so fucking brilliant. That's awesome. Don't make another one of these ever again. And this is going to be a fantastic movie.
Yeah.
And then 2, they're like, but then here's what happened. And 3 is like, but then this is what really happened. And then by the time you get to 5 or 6, you're like, good God. And I think, and I haven't seen it yet, but I think 10 is going to be more, it's going to be simplified. I think,
10? Yeah.
I think
okay. All right. How did they do that in The Witch? Because it's like you said, nothing really happens. At all. So
that movie just sucks. I just thought I'd just shit on it again.
I think his problem is the exposition wasn't there enough
There's
to say.
no exposition in that movie.
Yeah, bravo. Poo on that movie.
That is a true kind of slice of life to get to that point. I mean, there is the shot of the witch.
Slice of life. You want to say the witch is a slice of life?
Well, I'm actually
2.5 Men is a slice of life.
No, it's not. That has a very quick exposition of what the episode is going to be about and how it goes about it. I'm literally helping you out here, saying to you, because it doesn't say what the exposition is in the first 5, 10, 15 minutes.
Oh, you're agreeing with me.
I'm agreeing with you. It's like, yes, we have no idea as to what's going on, why the baby just left, and holy crap, then this thing happens, that thing happens, and it does take a while.
Yes.
Hereditary.
Did I just hear Hereditary 2.5 Men come in the conversation?
We'll cut that. We'll
cut that out.
I was gonna say I'm pretty impressed that of all I would never guess that 2.5 Men would make its way into this podcast, but hey,
or this will be the intro of the exact episode.
This should be
clip it.
Just like, did you just say the Charlie Sheen show? That was
him and
Ashton.
Yeah, exactly.
Good Lord.
Anyway, there you go, guys. Congrats.
I like that. That was good.
Yeah.
We didn't get it, but I like the idea.
That was fun.
That's right.
I didn't get it, but I like it.
Edit out those claps.
5 movies. What do they all have in common? And not necessarily what do they do poorly. What do I think they do? Kind of.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Smile, Oculus, The Blair Witch Project, Host from 2020, and Christine. That's for you, Johnny.
Yeah.
We did a short movie called Christine about the Stephen King book. So bringing it full circle.
It wasn't about the Christie.
Now I want to be very clear. I loved Oculus and Host, and I mean we do a little podcast on Blair Witch. I was not a fan of Smile. I mean, so I like most of what these movies do. I just don't like
Host.
this.
We saw Host. Thing. I can't remember which one's Host.
You're talking about
the pandemic
Zoom
movie
with all the the girls.
Yeah,
and it was the
you brought it up on the last
quarantine movie.
Oh, right.
The best quarantine movie.
Yeah. I blanked for a second. Okay, yeah.
And I brought that, and I bring that up because
the Host, the Korean movie with the
that's what I was. That's what.
Yeah, not that. So the one,
not the Moscow movie.
Because last year we talked about the best horror movies we've seen in the last 10 years, and that was Johnny's. So I'm bringing it full circle. I'm bringing it full circle.
Got it. Yeah.
Now again, I love that movie, but that did something that I just kind of see. Like these are probably the movies that do it the best, but a lot of movies do this thing that I don't like, and they do
these are the ones you think do it really good, well?
No, these do it better than some bad movies, but they all have something in common that I don't like. Now there are movies that I will say I should probably do it like you did and name some movies that do it really well. Okay. So Smile, Oculus, The Blair Witch Project, Host, and Christine. I think they don't do it well. This one particular thing, but I like the movies for other things, but they don't do this one thing well. A few movies that do it well: The Ring, The Exorcist, Fallen, It Follows, 1408.
1408 was a John Cusack movie where he was in a hotel that was haunted by something we don't know. I
might
see 1408.
I would say say your movies again that you're like, okay, Blair Witch. The witch isn't seen. There is no seeing of the witch itself. But It Follows. There's no seeing what it is either.
So the movies that I named that do, I'm going to rephrase that and say they don't. It's not that they do it well. It's that they do it in a way that I'm like, okay, I'm good with that. So, for instance, 1408 and The Exorcist and Fallen, the Denzel Washington movie, they all do something that the other movies don't. That makes me go, yep, I can take. This is palatable to me.
Well, they don't actually show an actual antagonist. There is no actual.
Yeah, that's part of it. That it's an unknown assailant, an unknown villain. That's part of all of this. Is all of what this is going on here.
But these do it. Host did it pretty well, but didn't. And Blair Witch did it.
No.
Host and Blair Witch did not do it well.
Okay.
Host did a lot of things well. It did not do this thing well. This thing annoys me when movies do this. That Host did it, and Blair Witch did it, Oculus did it, Smile, Christine, they all did it. Smile. That makes me go, I roll my eyes.
Are you talking about the last one with the bacon, Sosie Bacon?
Yeah. So it's, in a way, what does 1408 or The Exorcist or The Ring, what do they do that is different than what the Blair Witch Project or Host?
Is it suspense? Does it have to do with suspense? They build.
No.
They actually have an actual ending to the movie, and maybe it's not tied up in a bow, but they actually give you sort of this is kind of what happens. And some of these other movies,
I would say that's it's pretty close. They give you.
So there's not okay. I'll tag onto that. They give you enough to where you don't have to ask too many questions when the movie's over.
I would go with that.
Like
too.
You're not pissed off at well, what the hell was it then? Or
right.
It follows.
See, you're all hitting on, because It Follows is a perfect example, because I think Smile and It Follows are very, very, I think Smile is a ripoff of It Follows, quite honestly. But It Follows passes the mustard for me because It Follows had a much more satisfying ending, because you almost were like, oh, wait a minute, did they break the cycle? Did they win? Did the characters win? Or is it still, it's ambivalent, but it was such a cool, it's ambiguous.
Right.
But The problem I had with like Smile, Oculus is that it's an unknown entity. It cannot be defeated. It just keeps going and going and going. There's no way to break the cycle.
Right.
And at the end, you're like, well, what was the point? What did the Blair Witch want? What did the ghost or whatever in Smile want?
Right.
Yeah,
What did the mirror and Oculus want? We don't know. And it won. And it's like, it just seems pointless. That was my thing with those movies.
Right.
Even though I really liked Oculus, I really liked Host. It just kind of had that ending where everyone dies, the entity wins, and then, okay, now what? Like,
I was gonna go on that track, but I was like, well, this is another thing that really bothers me about a lot of horror films. But little sidebar would be the very desolate, bleak, everyone dies endings, where it's just like,
so
what's the point of
so
it, you know.
So
but
for instance,
that's now become a cliche to me.
Yeah.
So for instance here, like, and the reason I was like, I might be throwing people off. So I had Duel, The Exorcist, and 1408 as like, okay, we have no idea what the hell this villain or antagonist wants, but at the end they break the cycle. They beat it. Whatever this thing is, we don't know what it wanted or whatever, but they won. The movies like The Ring or Fallen. The evil wins, but we at least know why they're doing whatever the hell they're doing.
Right.
I don't
well,
remember
actually, in The Ring, it's sort of like
with Denzel. Obviously, you're talking about the
Fallen. Like
after somebody.
I give that a pass because it's like, yes, it just keeps going and going, but at least it's like, oh, but we know what the villain wanted and what it was, and the same thing with like Freddy and Jason. It's like they just keep coming back over and over again, but it's like at least I know who the villain is and what they want and what they're doing, and so it's like I'm okay.
It's more or less just fodder for death.
But when it's like, okay, slasher. Like, you know, it's like when the plants are killing everybody in The Happening, it's like, okay, like why? What is that? Like, what's the what? You know,
well, I just love Wahlberg. Like, guys, what if it's true? What if the plants are trying to kill us? It's like such a meme of him doing this. It's like the worst acting I've ever seen.
The toxin? The toxin is affecting them?
I can't wait to see some Mark Wahlberg clips.
What? No.
In this podcast.
Like, guys. All right. So here, you actually said one of the words, so just remember. I'll start with these are the movies that aren't doing it well. And I will say pretty much any sequel to most movies don't do this well. They lose this thing. They lose it. Okay. Movies that have done it well to me over the last few years, what we just said last year, Speak No Evil. I do believe It Follows. The Monster with Zoe Kazan. And then every Blumhouse, aside from The Conjuring... Blumhouse. I like to say Bloom. Blumhouse, aside from like the first Insidious, the first Conjuring, the first Saw, they all just kind of fall off the map with these things.
Wait a minute. Are you saying Speak No Evil does this good or bad?
It does it well. Speak No Evil does it well. Again, The Strangers, The Monster, It Follows. I will say Hereditary for me. I know you don't like it.
But what doesn't do it well? All
all the shit, like The Nun 2 that just came out, Annabelle 1, 3, 4.
None again.
But
even
The Conjuring does it well. The Conjuring 2 does not.
The Conjuring 2 does it pretty well, but starts to... The Conjuring 3, I'm like, oh, damn it.
No, you threw me off there because I liked all the Conjurings, but...
It's just one of those things.
Is it suspense? Are we back to suspense?
Yeah,
like where it loses.
Is it like we don't know where it's going, but in the sequels we do? Like it's predictable.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's just always like very predictable, but I think he's on the right track with suspense.
Is it we have to suspend so much disbelief at some point? You're annoyed.
I feel like it's a lazy thing. Like for a horror movie for me, to really like Incantation, the found footage movie that I really liked from Netflix a couple of years ago, that doesn't happen with a lot of found footage anymore because they rely on the tropes and the cliches. There is no sense of blank.
There's no sense of
It's just like
closure.
There's
no sense of
if I'm watching a horror film,
reason. There's
Realism.
no sense of There's no sense of reason. There's no sense of
the suspense is gone, but there's also just this feeling of like, well, I've seen this before too, and you could do all this.
Originality.
Like, I don't have this feeling anymore. I felt it a lot. All right, we watched Talk to Me last night.
Mm-hmm. I haven't seen it yet. So.
I think for the first half of it, I was like, "Oh, I feel this thing."
Yeah,
but I don't feel with a lot of horror films that are just kind of. And look,
I got it. No sense of danger.
Close, very close, very close, very close. Right. First letter.
No sense of.
No sense of.
Danger, dare, disaster.
No sense of just like
dread.
Oh, there you go.
Dread.
You got it, dude. You got it. I just feel like a lot of sequels, all the other B horror films, like when you watch a really good horror film, like the ones that have actually A24 has done, there's a sense of dread. There's just this like palpable feeling of just, something bad is going to happen. But it's hard to do it because you got to have the characters and the pacing and kind of nix the cliches like Talk to Me did. And I feel like a lot of those, like good. It Follows is one of the better examples of that. Just it's going to happen. It's coming after you.
It's funny. We've all mentioned It Follows as being one of the movies that did everything right. Like clearly it's one of our favorite movies in the past, 15 years.
Yeah. And I would say just going back to like my thing, It Follows perfectly if they had a little bit more of a downer of an ending, it would totally fit my thing. However, I give it a pass because it did so many things well.
Yeah.
Just like I would say, like, again, I really liked Oculus, but just that ending, I was like, really, dude? Like, that's,
Like, I was going to say, like, Train to Busan also has that. Even though it's a faster paced zombie movie, there's a sense of just of like what is going to happen.
Yes, but with all the zombie movies these days, there's so many zombie movies. To see a movie like Train to Busan, you're just like, finally, give us something fresh. That's the same way we felt about 28 Days Later. We're just like,
exactly.
This is fresh.
That's funny because if we had time to do like two things that annoy you, like I was going to say zombies are played out. I was going to name a bunch of zombie movies, but I agree with you. Train to Busan, or however you say it, is one of like hey, that was actually cool. I enjoyed the HBO show, The Last of Us, because that felt different. And it wasn't so much about zombies, but about, the characters.
Yeah.
Or something like Zombieland or Shaun of the Dead. I'm like, okay, now you're spoofing it, which is, it's funny. Yeah. But yeah, just a straight up like Walking Dead, I'm just so over it. I'm just like, it's just so tiresome at this point. But so I sent you guys a while ago. It was like Cinefix is like a YouTube channel, and they did something like the top 7 scariest scenes, and they basically throw a bunch of different examples and then they pick one, but they kind of went in order of like jump scares and like things. And I think the last one they ended with, and they used The Shining for it, but they said like that impending sense of doom, that dread, that like that was kind of the thing that was the scariest, that's scarier than whatever, like body horror or jump scares or whatever it would be, when you just sit there and you're like, oh man, something.
Yeah,
that's
I
like
think that's what like a lot of horror, B horror, like I said, even like something to the effect of the Halloween remakes, the Nuns, the Annabelles, the Conjuring did it well. There is that, like they set up characters with the actual people, the kids, and then Elaine and those people. Like again, it is such a big thing to have all of it come together,
right?
That you now see like some of these movies where it's just like, it just feels like you're just doing operatic, very just, all right, here's the mood lighting, here's the jump scare we're going to do 7 times before we get to, and characters kind of go by the wayside. I think that's what really helps with sense of dread.
Yeah.
It's that getting to know a character without overly expositioning something. But doing it to the effect of like, wow, they did it quickly but effectively.
Yours?
Give me a reason to care. Like give me a satisfying ending or like a purpose to it all. And give Give me something where I'm not just going, oh yeah, okay, this is like boring. There's no danger.
Right.
There's no dread. There's no impending doom.
Right.
I've seen this before. Yeah, I guess, right?
So those three things. So for any filmmakers out there, don't fuck up those three things, and we'll give you a thumbs up.
Yeah. All right, for Halloween Horror 2023, 611 Films podcast. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this. Please like, subscribe, comment if you disagree. You got your own ideas for this. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See you guys.
See you on the flip side.